Blenheim pilots certainly can't give any arm signals outside the cockpit, as the tips of those props are only a foot or so away from the cockpit side windows. With harness and hatches secure, it's time to get moving. Now, all the ground crew can do is wait for the safe return of their aircraft. Trim set, rudder set, throttles forward and into the air. Ever since the Blitz, Blenheim squadrons have been flying what are called daylight circuses over the Channel, escorted by fighters. It's true to say that the Blenheim squadrons have been the mainstay of Bomber Command's daylight raids, but many gallant crews have been lost on these highly dangerous missions. Today, we are attacking targets on the north coast of France. All crew members must keep an ever watchful eye for the inevitable German fighters, always ready to break up the Blenheim formations. While the gunners look after the enemy fighters, the bomb aimer tries to keep the aircraft on course for its target, a Luftwaffe base. Here comes the flak. Don't lose your nerve. Steady her up for the final run-in. Bombs away. The rest of the squadron follow suit. Then it's time to head for home as fast as those Mercuries can take you. Watch out for enemy fighters. So often they hit us on the way home. England at last. Airfield in sight. Terra firma and the waiting ground crews. This time they're lucky. All the Blenheims return home safely. The crews then start the whole process again. Tomorrow they'll do it all over again. In the meantime, the crews of our battling Blenheims relax before a good night's sleep. Yes, the RAF is all at sea, as another arm of the Royal Air Force is air-sea rescue with fast, well-armed launches. Recently, the Duke of Kent paid a visit to Mountbatten near Plymouth to see for himself just what Coastal Command are up to these days. Just like the rest of the royal family, the Duke is keen to see that the morale of our forces is kept as high as possible. While he was there, one of the Sunderlands, flown by a pilot from the Royal Australian Air Force, was ordered to take off and fly towards the Eddystone Lighthouse. An enemy U-boat had been sighted on the surface of the ocean. After checking the exact last seen location of the sub, the Sunderland was skillfully flown low and successfully sank the U-boat. Some of the enemy crew survived and were picked up by an RAF rescue launch and brought back to Mountbatten for interrogation. Meanwhile, the Sunderland and its crew alight safely back at base, where a suitable note is pinned to the ops board. A typical Sunderland crew is 11 men, whose long patrol always begins with a pinnace or launch ride out to the flying boat at its mooring buoy. A new crew goes through a checklist of items such as sunblinds, cooking ranges, kettles, teapots, stew pans and cloth, all vital for patrols lasting up to 20 hours. At the outbreak of war, Coastal Command was woefully ill-equipped with just 19 squadrons. 11 of those were Anson squadrons, 3 short Sunderlands, 2 Stranraers, 2 Wildebeests, and 1 Saro London. Although the Anson was completely outdated, the first attack by Coastal Command on an enemy submarine was made by an Anson on the 5th of September 1939. We might add, with little success. Throughout the first 22 months of the war, Coastal Command expanded to a home-based force of 34 squadrons. Takeoff speed is about 75 knots. She cruises at 120 to 125 knots and is usually flown at low level, around 1,000 feet or even lower. During 1940, with the vital Atlantic convoys being sunk by German U-boats and long-range maritime aircraft such as the Focke-Wulf FW-200 with a range of some 2,000 miles, Coastal Command had just 34 Sunderlands, which were the